The figure of the mocking spirit is present throughout Christian tradition, both in demonology and in the experiences of exorcists. Although this term is not strictly theological, it describes a kind of demonic influence that manifests in people through mockery, disrespect, and distortion of the truth. To deepen this analysis, we rely on sacred scripture, the teachings of the Church Fathers, the Magisterium, and the experience of renowned exorcists. The nature and characteristic features of the mocking spirit. The mocking spirit is a demonic entity whose main tactic is sarcasm, malicious irony, and mockery of the sacred. It reveals itself through people who hate or simply despise faith. Its effect is not directly manifested in the form of possession, but rather as a diabolical infection in some individuals who express contempt for faith, trivialize the sacraments, and distrust the rightful authority of the Church. Here are some of its characteristic features. Mockery of faith. This spirit mocks dogma, piety, and expressions of genuine faith, promoting a superficial and relativistic Christianity. Intellectual pride. It presents itself as falsely enlightened, eager to mock tradition by propagating a false humility that is basically just arrogance in disguise. Duplicity. It uses wordplay and double meanings to confuse, demoralize, and sow doubt among the faithful. Disguised blasphemy and sacrilege. It disguises its contempt for the sacred with irony, inappropriate jokes, or transgressive art forms. Infiltration of religious circles. These spirits can affect unbelievers, but above all, ordained people and priests who have lost their faith, taking away their sense of the sacred. Popular culture portrays them in the form of ghosts, restlessly wandering souls of the dead. And there is a grain of truth in these ideas, but their effect in reality is the influence or diabolical infection of different people, among atheists and unbelievers. They are easily recognized as militant atheists who openly mock faith, scoff at dogma, and despise the Church. New atheists like Richard Dawkins or Christopher Hitchens are prime examples of this among practicing Catholics. Here, its mode of action is more subtle. It can be seen in the trivialization of faith by those who laugh at traditional liturgy or downplay the importance of the sacraments. A key characteristic is disrespect and the constant use of irony in relation to religion among priests and consecrated people. This is the most dangerous manifestation. Exorcists such as Father Gabriele Amorth or Father Chad Ripperger warned that demons try to penetrate the church hierarchy with the spirit of mockery, disguised as modernity and openness. Here are some signs of its presence. Disrespect in the liturgy, abuse of improvisation during Holy Mass, trivialization of the sacraments, and disrespect for the sacred. False mercy, use of humor and irony to justify doctrinal and moral relativism, contempt for tradition, contempt for ancient rites, Latin, scholastic theology, and patristics, feigned cordiality and artificial cheerfulness. They use humor to deflect criticism and avoid serious debate on doctrinal issues. Defense of error. They mock those who defend orthodoxy, calling them rigid or modern-day Pharisees. How to recognize it in the Church? The spirit of mockery is revealed when the sermon focuses on platitudes and sentimentality instead of truth. Inappropriate humor is encouraged in the liturgy. Disrespect is justified by the desire to be closer to the people. Frequent confession, Marian devotion, and respect for the magisterium are ridiculed. The teaching of the Church Fathers and the Magisterium. The Church Fathers warned against the dangers of mockery as a tool of the devil. St. Augustine argued that mockery can be a form of contempt that hardens the heart. St. Thomas Aquinas, in his Summa Theologica, warned that jocositas immoderata, excessive inclination to mockery, can be a sin when used to disparage God and holy things. The Magisterium, in documents such as Pascendi Dominici Gregis by Pius Eck and Humani Generis by Pius XII, has pointed out that modernism and relativism often use irony to mock doctrine. Summary. How to fight the mocking spirit, prayer and penance. Only through a life of deep prayer can we resist its influence. Absolute reverence for the sacred. Return to Eucharistic adoration, silent and solemn liturgy. Solid doctrinal formation. Truth is the best defense against linguistic manipulation. Avoiding superficiality and constant sarcasm. Faith is defended with seriousness and determination, without resorting to destructive wordplay. Denouncing disrespect in the heart of the Church. When a priest or consecrated person mocks holy things, it is a red flag. Final reflection. The mocking spirit in today's Church. The mocking spirit within the church is a sign of spiritual crisis. Mockery is a weapon of confusion and desecration, and its presence is a wake-up call that the devil has entered the minds of many. As St. Paul said, "Do not be deceived. God is not mocked." Galatians 6:7. Today, this spirit works in an obvious way in many shepherds who, instead of leading the flock with truth, resort to irony to discredit those who defend the eternal faith. They laugh at rigidity, but are themselves inflexible when it comes to imposing their views. They speak of discernment, but abruptly reject those who question their doctrinal deviations. This spirit of mockery is evident in gestures and words that mock reverence for the sacred. The Eucharist is treated with indifference. Sin is dismissed as a youthful indiscretion. Tradition is despised as nostalgia for the past. With humor, they justify themselves when they trivialize the sacred, but they react with anger when questioned. It is no coincidence that today many ministers prioritize satire over serious understanding, mockery over clear teaching. It is a demonic strategy to replace truth with confusion, respect with scorn, steadfastness in faith with a relativism masked by joking. But mockery will not defeat the truth. Christ remained silent in the face of mockery during his passion, but his silence was more powerful than the laughter of his tormentors. And the church, though suffering today from mockery within, will not be destroyed. Faithfulness, prayer, and zeal for the truth will be the antidote to this spirit of mockery, which, though it laughs today, trembles before the name of Christ. That was the Bell of Truth. Leave a like and share the video. See you soon, dear warriors of the Lord.